Guys, this is Ellie and you're watching Ferns on the Porch. This is kind of a silly topic. Maybe you were confused by the title and you're just curious. I want to talk about observing creation. For those of you who don't know, I do homeschool my kids, and so we're reading and discovering things together all the time. And it's wonderful to have that opportunity with my kids, but even, just for myself, to look at creation and the things around us through the filter of our faith in God. And there's so many examples of God's wonder and amazement that are all throughout creation, but I have two examples. First is salmon. This might seem ridiculous, but salmon are kind of fascinating, and we learned about this in my daughter's lessons in the last few weeks. There's a bunch of different varieties of salmon, and without getting too technical, I'm just going to give you just a brief example. So they're born in rivers, and they head out to the ocean. So going from a freshwater river out into the ocean, and that changing atmosphere and environment for them. So that's pretty crazy. They eat, they grow larger, they're gone for several years. After several years, they travel back upstream. So they're out in the ocean, out in the salt water. They travel upstream, up into freshwater rivers, and many return to the very spot that they were born. So imagine this, hatching from an egg, downstream, out into the ocean, living their life. Couple years, they turn around and decide to go back upstream and find their exact spot where they were born. I think that's amazing. Of course, scientists and things have all kinds of theories about some kind of magnetic, something that they have inside their heads that draws them geographically back to their home river. It's amazing, right? The second example I have is the butterfly. Monarch butterflies, we see, we have a great gardens here where they have a butterfly exhibit every year, and I just think they're fascinating. The monarch butterfly migrates, okay? The butterfly migrates in the fall, and they go down south to Mexico. That's not the most fascinating part. First of all, the monarch butterfly lays its eggs on milkweed. Butterflies don't eat milkweed, but they know that caterpillars do. So when the caterpillar hatches, it eats the milkweed. After a couple weeks, turns into a chrysalis, a little cocoon. It's not technically a cocoon. It's a chrysalis when it's a butterfly. And then 10 more days, goes through this amazing metamorphosis, a creature turning from one creature into another creature, basically, turns into a butterfly. Amazing, right? It takes 4 generations of a butterfly to complete the migration. So butterflies typically live 2 to 6 weeks, except the butterflies that are born between September and October. They live 6 to 8 months. So the same butterfly, same species, lives so much longer than the other ones. Why? So that it can complete the migration and fly to Mexico. And that's a whole other story. They get to Mexico, and many of them migrate to the same tree, the very same tree where their great-great-grandparents once migrated generations before them. Amazing, right? What in the world am I talking about? If we have eyes to see the wonder and amazing things that God does in creation, our lives are just a lot happier. I think it's easy to feel overwhelmed with our day-to-day lives and things like that, but if we just step back and pray, God, give me eyes to see things and understand how awesome you are. And why? Why does God care about a caterpillar and a butterfly and a salmon? If God cares about those small little things in creation, then surely he cares about me and my little life and the things that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. So the one verse I have for you is Psalm 8:1. Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. That's just talking about the heavens, let alone all around us here on the earth. Luke 19:40 says, if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out. I think creation cries out and reflects the beauty and majesty of what and who created them. And as we look into science and things like that, some Christians really fear science, but I think looking through the lens of your faith and looking into science and all the different discoveries that are out there, it just shows us more and more confirmation that there is a creator that places all these things in this intricate web that works together. So hopefully that's helpful and encouraging for you today. Open your eyes and look around through creation and through your daily walk. And I hope that God reveals himself to you in a greater way. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share with your friends.